That morning, a young waitress walked into the restaurant like she always did. Same uniform, same smile. She had no idea this ordinary day was about to become unforgettable. In one corner, two well-dressed men sat quietly finishing their breakfast. They were calm, polite, and hardly spoke. When it was time to leave, the first man placed some cash on the table. The waitress picked it up and her breath caught. It was $400. Surprised, she looked up. But the man simply nodded and walked toward the door. Then the second man stopped in front of her. He gently placed $500 into her hand and said softly, "Stay strong. Better days are coming." Before she could say anything, he turned and left. In the kitchen, away from everyone, she stood still. Her hands were shaking. Tears filled her eyes. "Why would strangers do this for me?" she whispered. A few minutes later, the manager called her aside. He handed her an envelope. Inside was another $800. "Take it," he said kindly. "Sometimes help comes when you least expect it." Confused, she shook her head. "Sir, I didn't ask anyone for help. I just came to work like every other day." The manager smiled gently. "My friends overheard your phone call this morning. You were talking about your mother, how she's in critical condition. No insurance, no savings. You didn't complain, but your pain was clear." She broke down completely. A week later, her mother returned home alive, smiling, recovering. When the waitress came back to work, something had changed. Not her uniform, not her job. But her eyes carried a quiet light. She had learned a powerful truth. When you have no one left to lean on, God moves silently, touching the hearts of strangers who hear the pain you never say out loud. Sometimes hope arrives, not because you asked, but because someone felt your soul